All right, Nick, the Los Angeles Rams, a team that just got some excellent news on the injury front, obviously. Key addition to their team, banged up at the end of the game, and we have a story about their status now currently and looking forward into this coming week's game. And just a general story, Nick, this team is looking really, really good all around the ball in the playmaker positions. They have tons of playmakers. If they can just string it together, they have the talent on this team to start winning some games. So I think that they can do that. But before we get into all of this, Nick, we've got to ask the Rams fans. It's about mid-season right now, roughly starting to get into the middle of the season. Who's been your mid-season MVP? You've got so many guys that are grading out really highly. If you look at Donald, Ramsey, Wagner, Kupp, it's a lot of guys that have made a lot of plays so far. Let us know in the comments below who's your mid-season MVP. But Nick, what is this injury update for the Rams?
Yeah, it's no surprise that the Rams offense has been inconsistent and has frankly struggled at times. But the one bright spot, I should say, has been Cooper Kupp. But unfortunately for the Rams, he was banged up, rolled his ankle against the San Francisco 49ers against at the end of the game last week, to your alluded to. But there's good news on that front. So this is according to Cameron Flynn on Athlon Sports. Flynn wrote, after missing Wednesday's practice entirely, the Los Angeles Rams saw one critical offensive player return and participate today. In a report posted to Twitter Thursday afternoon by Jordan Rodriguez, Cooper Kupp returned to practice as a participant. Cooper missed Wednesday's practice while coming from an ankle injury sustained near the end of the Rams' Week 8 loss to San Francisco. This update is certainly a positive sign for his availability this Sunday in Tampa Bay. All right, Matt. So obviously the upward trajectory is big. There were reports earlier this week that he had no structural damage, which obviously would have been devastating because the role Kupp has played in this offense as the number one guy. But frankly, in this individual matchup against a Buccaneers team, both teams are really desperate. Kupp absolutely dominated the Buccaneers in the playoff game last year. He had 9 catches for 183 yards. And of course, the big catch at the end that propelled him into field goal range to win the game. This Rams offense needs Kupp. He's trending in the right direction, missing out Wednesday's practice, which is fine. Thursday, he's a participant, getting back into the speed of things. All signs point he'll be a full go and play for the LA Rams this Sunday. What do you think of this Rams offense, right? They need Kupp to beat this Bucs team. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. Kupp is crucial. He's force-fed the ball. He's paramount to this offense's success. And obviously the fact they did not trade Cam Akers, he has been out of practice as well for personal reasons or being upset. I think they're trying to come to pass with him to try to work him back and getting him on the field, which would be nice if he would be able to play. So that's another thing to look forward to down the line. But Kupp being back is super important. And I want to go through this next stretch of games, Nick, because I think this is crucial for the Rams to get back on track. You go to a very, very struggling Buccaneers team. I think you easily could win that game. There shouldn't be a problem to win that game. Then you go to the Cardinals. They come to you. And that's another team. You should be able to beat the Cardinals. It's a divisional game. It's going to be tough. It's going to be scrappy. But I'd say out of the division, the Cardinals are the team that you probably have the best chances against. Then you go to the Saints. You can probably beat the Saints. And then you have 3 tune-up games to lead you into the hard part of the rest of your schedule. You got the Chiefs, Seahawks, 2 tough games. Then you go Raiders, who are struggling, Packers, who are struggling, Broncos, who are struggling. So they have spells, Nick. They have 3 tune-up games, 2 tough games. 3 tune-up games, 2 tough games. I think the Rams have a pretty favorable schedule, at least for them, for the rest of the season. And I love Kupp coming back. I love this team getting healthy at the right time, to potentially try to make this playoff push that we made, or we know that they can make. So I think things are looking good for them and more fronts than just Kupp coming back.
Yeah, 100%. And look, there's been some reports, anytime a team like the Rams coming off the Super Bowl is fluttering around 500, you see some negativity from the media come in. And Miles, you and I talked about this. There are reports, I think it was highlighted by Sports Illustrated, that Sean McVay was potentially waiting from this core group to break up before potentially leaving this Rams organization. And I want to take the time now and just kind of laugh at the media with this silly report here. Because when they sit there and say, and this is like, oh, the moment that Kupp, Ramsey, and Stafford are done playing for the Rams, Sean McVay is going to leave. So Stafford and Kupp's contract runs through the 2026 season. So into 2027, they would potentially be free agents. Jalen Ramsey's contract ends 1 year earlier. So this whole report out here from Sports Illustrated talking about how the Rams are trying to establish this narrative that Sean McVay wants to leave, that's 4 to 5 years from now. right? That's anything could happen in two years in the NFL, 1 year in the NFL. So the fact that this report coming out, I'm just come out here and say, Rams fan, look, ignore that. It's all fluff. It has nothing to do with this team right now, and just getting healthy, getting players back, getting the drama with Cam Akers behind them is big. And you brought it up, Miles. This is a critical juncture for this Rams team because they have a few easier games before they get into the real meat of their schedule. I think getting Kupp back, who feasts on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is going to be huge for this offense, trying to get on the right track. And I think they do it against Tampa and really just get the things in motion to turn their season around.